Hey boys and girls, how are you? Say hi. Hey guys. You guys did a nice job last week dividing those decimals. You guys found the actual dividing those decimals. You guys found the actual dividing those decimals. You guys found the actual answers and you took the decimal point out, right? You made your estimate, you took the decimal point out and you solved the whole entire problem like we've been doing all year. And then you put the decimal point back in the answer based on what your estimate was. Okay, so you're doing the same thing today, but last week you didn't get any remainders. So this week when you work, you're gonna have remainders. So I'm gonna show you what you have to do with those remainders. Okay, so I'm gonna play a video and I'm gonna show you guys how to solve those problems. Good job. Yeah, say tata. All right. You want to get started? Okay, let's go. All right. So the first problem we have is 7.33 divided by 4. So as always, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make an estimate. So I see a 7 and a 4. I know I can turn the 7 into an 8 because that's close to 7. And I can keep the 4. And 8 divided by 4 equals 2. And maybe some people would even do 6 divided by 3 equals 2 because 6 is also close to 7. Next I have to solve. Now this is where you take the decimal away and you get it, you don't bring it back till later. So I have 733 divided by 4. So now I gotta think 4 times, I'm just gonna do 4 times 100, gives me 400, subtract, get 333. Now I'm gonna do this like we did in school. And I know 4 times 8 gets me 32. If I add a 0, I can add a 0. So now 4 times 80 is 320. I subtract, I get 13. And then I'm going to do 4 times 3 is 12. Subtract, I get 1. Next, I need to add up the side. I get 183. And now my remainder is 1. So I get 183 and 1 over 4. I have to report it as a fraction, just like we did in class. So now this is the new part. You're gonna know, you need to look at 1/4, and 1/4 is less than half. So we are going to round down. When it's less than half, you round down. So since I'm rounding down, I'm gonna keep that 183, okay? And that's gonna be my answer. Now the step like we did last week, you're gonna bring the decimal point back. You're gonna look at your 2 estimates. My estimate answers were about 2. So now I gotta figure out where I'm gonna put the decimal point. Am I gonna put it there so it's less than 1? Am I gonna put it at 1? Am I gonna make it 18? Am I gonna make it 183? Which one of those are close to 2? Yep, you know 1.83 is the closest you're gonna get to your estimate of 2. Okay, so that would be my final answer. Okay, so 7.33 divided by 4 is about 1.83. Let's go to the next one. Same thing, we're making our estimate. So 19 and 5. First thing that pops out to my head is 20 divided by 5 because I'm thinking of friendly numbers. I'm thinking of numbers that are in the same fact family. So 20 divided by 5 is 4. Another one some people might do is maybe even 19 is close to 16 and you can make the 5 a 4. 16 divided by 4 is 4. Okay, so now I'm going to solve. Remember, you're taking the decimal point out of the problem. So now it's just 193 divided by 5. So let's start working. Remember, I could underline this, and I know 5 times 3 is 15. But if I add the 0, make it a 30, that gives me 150. And I subtract, I get 43. I know 5 times 8 is 40. I subtract, I get 3. Since this 3 is smaller than the 5, I know I can stop. I'm going to add up the side. I get 38 and 3 over 5. Just like before our remainder was 1/4, right? That was our that was what was left over, and that was less than half. But this time, 3/5 is more than half. So I'm going to round up for this one. Before I rounded down because it was less than half, but now I'm going to round up because it's more than half. So actually that's not going to be a 38. I'm going to round it up now to 39. So that's the new thing that we're learning today. So I'm going to round up to 39, and of course the final step is I got to bring back the decimal point. So my estimates were 4. It's about 4. The answer is about 4. So am I going to put my decimal point there where it's less than 1? We're going to make a 3. We're going to make a 39. Well, I'm going to make it 3.9 because that is the closest I can get to my estimate of 4. Okay, so again, the new thing we're learning today is that when you're done, you take your remainder and you put it 1/4. If your remainder is less than half, you're going to round down. So if you're rounding down, you're keeping the 183 the same, and you're just bringing back the decimal point. If the remainder gives you more than half, you're going to round up. So for this case, it was more than half, so I had 38, so I had to round it up to 39. Okay, so now I have, bring back the decimal point, 19.3 divided by 5. The answer is going to give me about 3.9. So that's the new thing for today. That's the only new thing. So make sure when you're doing your work, you have your estimation number sentence, you solve and show all your work, and then you're doing this portion as well, and then you bring back the decimal point. Don't forget all of the new things that we did. Rewatch the video if you have any questions, or send me some private messages. Was that a good video? Did you learn a lot? So same thing as last week. You guys are estimating first, taking the decimal point out, putting it on the side, doing all your division work. Then you're bringing the decimal point back based on what your estimate is. You're going to place the decimal point. And what you're going to do with that remainder is you're going to round down if it's less than half, and you're going to round up if it's more than half. If you have any questions or any trouble, rewatch the video or send me any private messages, and I would love to help. Okay? Do you want to say bye-bye? Do you want to say bye? Say bye. Say bye-bye. Bye. She just wants to play with her toy.
You want to take a nap, Riley?